Hey everyone, welcome back. Been a little while, been a little busy with work. I've been able to watch your videos, but I haven't been able to post anything. Starting to get behind here. Apologies for that. But hey, we have 4 successful returns. Let's get right to it. This first one, this first one is a little odd. I sent 2 cards. I sent a 1954 Bowman and an 85 Topps father and son card. This return came from Provo, Utah. You can probably guess who it is based on that info. But this was 8 days. It was $8 per card. Apparently, his son is ill, and he's trying to raise money to offset medical costs and so forth. So, it's going to a good cause, and that hopefully it's helping his son throughout this time of illness. So we definitely wish him well. But I sent 2 cards. I got back 4, and they weren't the 4 that I sent. So I guess you could say it's a 4 of 2. But he is Mr. Vern Law. So like I said, I sent a 85 Topps father and son. Actually asked him if he could have Vance Law sign it as well, and a 1954 Bowman. But I got back this 1993 Upper Deck bat card, which he signed beautifully and inscribed, and a 2001 Topps Archive 1967 reprint, which he also was gracious enough to inscribe as well there. And then he sent 2 other cards from Vance, a 90 Donruss and an 88 Topps. So that was very, very nice. So I had to go pick up another Bowman card and ship that one off. No problem, not an issue. I mean, these things happen. At least I got something back. So I definitely appreciate that, Mr. Law. Thank you so much for sending those cards. A little about Mr. Law. He actually pitched for 16 years in the bigs, from 1950 through 1967, missing 2 years in 52 and 53 while serving in the military. Thank you for your service. Career record of 162 and 147 with an ERA of 3.77 with 1,092 career strikeouts. He was the 1960 NL Cy Young Award winner with a 29 record, 3.0 ERA, 3.08 ERA, 120 Ks, while pitching 271.2 innings and 18 complete games that season. That's amazing. He was also a 2-time All-Star, all in 1960. What, you ask? Yep, from 1959 through 1962, there were 2 All-Star games played in the season, believe it or not. The second game was added to raise money for MLB players' pension funds and for other causes. It was actually later reduced to 1 due to the fact that it was watering down the appeal. So, imagine 2 All-Star games in today's game. Mr. Law is actually nicknamed the Deacon, a name given to him by former teammate Wally Westlake, due to Mr. Law being a priest, actually, and not a deacon in the Mormon faith. Mr. Westlake passed away at 98 last year. Rest in peace, Mr. Westlake. He was also an integral part of the 1960 Pirates, Mr. Law was, who upset the mighty Yankees to win the World Series in 1960. The Pirates were supposed to be swept, according to many pundits at that time. They actually lost in 3 blowout games while winning 4 close ones in that series. They were outscored 55 runs to 27 runs and pulled off the upset. Mr. Law was also the last pitcher to pitch an 18-inning game back in July of 1955 against the Milwaukee Braves. Not only did he hold the Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews-led Braves to 1 earned run and pitch 2 complete games, basically, he did it on only 2 days of rest. Wow. Unbelievable. Bob Friend relieved Law in the 19th and gave up a run, but the Bucks rallied in the bottom of the 19th to give them the win. So that's good. To make things a little crazier, Law took the mound 4 days later against the Cubs and pitched a complete 10-inning game, giving up 4 hits while striking out 8. The pitching line for those 2 games, 28 innings pitched, 13 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 20 strikeouts. This I guarantee you will never see again. Amazing, amazing stuff. Wow. Amazing pitcher, Mr. Law. Thank you so much for sending these back, and to Mr. Vance Law as well. Thank you so much. All right. Next up, we have a 2 of 2 This was, and I'm sorry, that took 8 days for Mr. Law to return. So quick turnaround. This next one comes to us from Pittsburgh, PA. 2 of 2, no fee, 8 days. And he is Mr. Roy Face. There he is on the 1965 Topps. Very nice looking card. Great condition. And there he is on the 1994 Topps Archives and the 1954 Topps Design. Very cool. We'll put that there. And Mr. Face, Roy Face, Elroy Face, was actually a teammate of Mr. Vern Law's. Mr. Face also pitched 16 years in the Bigs, compiling a 104.95 record, 3.48 ERA, 177 strikeouts, and 193 saves. He pitched in 848 career games, which was a record for many, many years until that was broken. He actually paved the way for the modern closer in baseball. He actually saved 3 of the 4 games for the 1960 Pirates in that World Series that I spoke of with Mr. Law. Excuse me. And he actually saved 2 of Mr. Vern Law's starts in that series as well. He also pitched for the Tigers, Expos, spending most of his years with the Pirates. He was a 6-time All-Star in 1959, 1960, and 1961. In 1959, he went 18-1 with a 2.7 ERA and 93.1 innings pitched. That's a win percentage of 94.7%, a record to this day. Footnote on that, Max Fried actually went 7-0 in 56 innings this year in the abbreviated season in 11 games. So we'll see how that's going to play out, if that is actually the true record or not. But, I mean, Mr. Face did pitch 40-some-odd more, almost 40 more innings than he did. So I think we'll give it to Mr. Face. And speaking of Fried, he actually lost last night's Game 6 in the NLCS. All right, so Mr. Face was a stalwart member of the Pirates from the mid-1950s to late 1960s. The 5'8" relief ace became one of the best-known faces of the post-war Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, Mr. Face, thank you so much. That's a great return from a great player. Much appreciated. All righty, let's keep it moving. Next up, we have a 2 of 3. He kept the 1988 Donruss card. This is no fee. Comes to us from Austin, Texas. And this was 19 days. So let's see what 2 cards we got back. And there he is, Calvin Schiraldi on the 85 Donruss rated rookie. And as a member of the Red Sox on the 87 Topps cards. So Mr. Schiraldi pitched in the majors for 8 years from 1984 through 1991 for the Mets, Padres, Cubs, Red Sox, and Rangers. He played at the University of Texas with future 7-time Cy Young winner Roger Clemens and future Boston Red Sox teammate as well. He actually helped the Longhorns to the 1983 College World Series title, being named the most outstanding player. He was actually a more touted prospect than Clemens, believe it or not. He had a career record of 32-39, 4.28 ERA with 21 saves and 471 strikeouts. After the 1985 season, he was traded by the Mets with 3 other players for Bobby Ojeda and 3 players. This trade would aid the Mets in 1986. Bobby O went on to go 18-5 in 1986 with a 2.57 ERA, while Mr. Schiraldi went 4-2 with a 1.41 ERA and 9 saves out of the pen. The 1986 season would end with the Mets winning a memorable World Series. He may best be remembered for coming into Game 6, relieving his Longhorn teammate Clemens in the 8th inning. Bobby O actually started Game 6 for the Mets. And when Schiraldi came in, the Sox were up 3-2. He gave up the tying run. He came back out in the 9th. The first 2 Mets reached on base. He struck out Howard Johnson, got Lee Mazzilli, and Lenny Dykstra to fly out. The Sox went on to score 2 runs in the top of the 10th. He came back out in the 10th to retire the first 2 batters, Wally Backman and Keith Hernandez. And then up came the late, great Gary Carter, my favorite player growing up, who started the now legendary comeback with a single. He then gave up a single to Kevin Mitchell. And next up was World Series MVP Ray Knight, who singled in Mr. Gary Carter. He was finally yanked for Bob Stanley, and we all know how the rest went. Mr. Schiraldi actually took the blown save in that game, and the Mets won the series in 7 games. All right. Sorry, guys, I had to relive that great fond memory. I apologize for that, but Mr. Schiraldi is much appreciated, and thank you very, very much for that. I definitely appreciate it. Let's put it back there. All right, our final return. Sorry, let's move this along. Our final return is a 6 of 6, 29 days with no fee. This is an awesome return. Mr. J. Bell. There he is on the 88 tops. I actually told him to keep the duplicates, but he signed them and sent them all signed. So we have them on 288 tops, 288 flare right there. There we go. On the 89 tops right here, and the 89 and the 90 flare here. One on the Pirates uni. There we go. Let's just put him there. All right. Alrighty. So, a little something about Mr. Bell. Excuse me. Mr. Bell played for 18 years in the bigs as a middle infielder for the Indians, Pirates, D-backs, Royals, and the Mets. He was a career 265 hitter with 195 home runs, 860 ribbies, 1123 runs with nearly 2,000 hits for his career. He had a career year in 1999, hitting 38 home runs, 112 RBI, 132 runs with 170 hits that year. He earned his second and final All-Star nod that season. He was also Gold Glove and Silver Slugger Award winner in 1993 with Pittsburgh, as well as winning the World Series with the D-backs. And he was on, he played in the memorable postseason games with the Pirates of the early 90s as well. It was fun to watch. Mr. Bell was originally drafted by the Twins and traded to Cleveland for Hall of Fame pitcher Bert Blyleven. Bell's first Major League at-bat in 1986 was against the pitcher he was traded for. During that first at-bat, Bell not only got his first hit, it was his first home run. Not only was it a memorable home run for Bell, but for Blyleven as well. That homer that he gave up was the 47th given up in 1986, which was a new single-season record. Mr. Blyleven would go on to give up 50 dingers that season, which is still a record for most homers given up in a season. Alrighty, so Mr. Bell, thank you very much. Mr. Schiraldi, Mr. Face, both Mr. Laws, it is much appreciated, and much appreciated for you guys all sticking around and watching this. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for the support. And, special shout out to Brandon Stebbins, Angry Old Man, and Eddie's Baseball autographs as well for, helping me get over that 100 subscriber barometer, I guess you can say, milestone. So I really, really, really appreciate it, and to everyone else out there for watching and supporting. Thank you all again, and be safe and take care, everyone. See you next time.